educated on these options you have here, and Mayor, like you said, it's going to be their decision. So, in other words, people of Mounds View are not going to have a decision on any of these here. It's whatever the council decides is what's going to go ahead with this here.
I would suspect that as normal as it normally is with decisions, you kind of get the byplay going back and forth. So ultimately, they have to make a decision, but I don't think they're going to do it in a vacuum. Is that what you mean?
Well, because some prior decisions, and I don't want to go into that, were not, they were made by that particular council, but it wasn't that everybody agreed, and I'm not saying some of these options are good or bad. I don't want to argue that now, but what I want to know is the council now that's sitting here now, which will, like Julie said the other night, there's going to be some changes. Are they going to make the decisions on these options here? Are the people going to have anything to say about it?
To answer your respect, I would say yes, because that's why you're here now, you're making your comments, that's why we had the survey, so we could get back from them. That's why I've been out in the community for the last 6 months talking to people. Yeah, I'd say that I've had a lot of input from the residents. I've asked for more. The survey provided me more information. I have more information here tonight. Yeah, I'm not making a choice on my own. I'm taking it from the information that I've received from the residents. So, no, I'm not making it on my own. People may not agree with me, but the way I read the residents and the people that are telling me, that's the way I'm going to go along with it. That's the way I make all my decisions.
Okay, another question I have on a partnership. I went through a little town this weekend where they had a partnership for about 10 years, and all of a sudden I seen a great big fence between these two things. So I asked one of the residents, why is that big fence there? They said the partnership was sold and didn't work no more. And it put them in a unique situation. I'm for private enterprise doing their thing, but a partnership with business in the village, I'm very, very, I don't know if that's a good decision to make ever. Private enterprise should do their thing, make their money, and now we're entering in, you get into the things where who's going to take care of bathrooms there, who's going to share the cost. Yes, I know they write contracts, but I don't know if the city of Mounds View should be going into partnership with businesses. If I could buy land for $1 and start a business, and maybe I'm not getting all of this, and start a business or whatever it may be, that wouldn't be such a bad deal. I'm just leery of that, and I've seen a few cases, and not a lot of them, but I think there's a lot of questions that got to be asked before we go in, and as the survey showed, it also indicated that. How do you feel about the partnership if you're going to make the decision here?
Like I said, there's a lot of questions to be asked yet, and a lot of answers to be given, because we've asked some of the questions and some of it are still coming back. If it's a positive fashion for the city, and there's some areas up here that I feel it is a very positive, there's others that there are some very strong negatives as to the partnership. I got to shake that out, got to find out more information as to those items on that. I haven't made up my mind on that yet, because I don't know all of the answers yet.
Well, and the reason I'm concerned, the bell I'm just going to make a statement and we won't argue about it. And a lot of the answers and the things that are coming up now weren't realized by these citizens. And I talked to a lot of them too, Mayor, of some of the things that, now we're talking, I don't know, $1 million, $2 million, or $3 million. None of this was ever, they thought, well, buy the bell room, have a community center for Boy Scouts, everything. And now the amount of money and what had to be done with this thing, I think is another concern to this village. And maybe I'm wrong. I just want you to think about that. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
You brought up that, maybe I misunderstood this, that you favored number 5, or you thought that the number of people that you spoke with, their ideas were implemented into Plan 5?
Yeah, primarily economically, and what people were saying that they felt, it basically goes right along with...
Refresh what Plan 5 was.
Plan 5 is right now strictly the remodel of the building with, the teen center, the senior center, the multi-purpose. No, well, like I said, my idea economically says we use part of the dance floor whenever we can for gym space. A gym would be great. If we could find a way to do that, It'd be great. I mean, I'm all for building, add on a gym. I don't know.
Initially, I was against this whole Bellray purchases. The mayor and the council are well aware, but it was for different reasons. But anyway, tonight has been very eye-opening. It's been very enlightening to me, and hopefully everybody here, as well as the council, are learning new things about this. I've become somewhat enthusiastic. I'm finding myself sitting here. This is terrific, in my opinion, what Rick is proposing. I mean, anytime you can bring in 9 weekends and fill the town up, that's excitement, that's revenues, that's money, prestige to the city. Nobody's brought that up, okay? Option one, let's go for it. But anyway, that's important to me, and it's important to the overall quality of our community, the quality of life. I mean, how much respect do we have for where we live? I mean, what can we gain from this in the big picture? The most important thing that Dwayne said, that I agree with him 100% on, this is a big thing that we're embarking on as a community here. We're already in it. Like it or not, we own it. But when Dwayne said, is there really, because this is going to be such a huge decision, somehow or other there's a lack of communication to the city. I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. Unfortunately, tonight the reporters didn't show up. I spoke with a reporter at the Bulletin today, and nothing there. But the people of the town need to know about this. They need to be informed. They need to be educated. For 6 years I've lived in Moundsview. I've always been disappointed with the turnout at council meetings. How do these people know this stuff? Do people? I mean, the Moundsview matters. I mean, are we going to put all this in there? But then Sue brought up a great point. There's no way where we're sitting right now. There's no way this can be done by the time we have to make the final budget decisions. It can't be done, based on where we're at tonight. Now, unless things can take off at lightning pace, what are we going to do? I think there's some real good points made tonight by everybody trying to keep politics out of it. I mean, in fact, the matter is we own this, what I used to consider an albatross. I was dead set against it, but that was because of how it was done. But anyway, but now it's ours. Now the hard decisions have to be made. What are we going to do to make it a real asset to our town? But I think the information's got to get out to the city. The council members are entitled to feedback from the community, one way or another. I mean, put something in a Bulletin newspaper where they can fill it out and mail it into the city hall or something. I don't know. But I don't know, because of the largeness of this thing, the vastness of this thing. I don't know if it can be done in time for the final budget. But that's all I've got to say about it. Thank you.
I hate to get up once more, and I agree. What I'm scared of is I'm definitely scared, and he's so indicated that he's going to make a decision on what we're going to do here. I'm really afraid that this Mr. Lenke is going to make a decision very quickly, like buying it. One of the things I remember, we can say that some of this stuff can be very good for the community, but I remember when they built the stadium over in St. Paul, and it was going to bring in, he told us how much revenue this was going to bring into our city. There is no guarantee of what kind of revenue this is going to do depending upon it. They built the stadium in St. Paul, they shut the thing down, called it a white elephant, and lost tons of dollars. Anybody can come up here and say it's going to bring this, it's going to bring hotel. We know what hotel rooms and what it is there. The Blaine Sports Center is a beautiful facility. They struggled for a long time.
It's making money now.
And it's finally making money, but it's a beautiful facility. I mean, it's I'm glad for sports and stuff. But we can't build anything like that. They're on our doorstep. Shoreview and their community center's having a tough time making money. I got an article in the paper that they're barely making money. I got the article. You shake your head, Julie, but I'll show you the article.
I don't think they set out to make money. I don't think they set out to
And
make
right,
money.
and maybe, well, that isn't what I understood when they first built that, but that's immaterial, but.
I think when some of the data we had looked at earlier indicated that most cities that have community centers subsidize them with general fund money.
Right, and like I said, I'm not against that, but we gotta be careful when someone comes in and says, this is what it's gonna bring us, this is gonna hotel, gas, and everything. There's no guarantee of anything like that unless it's successful, just like a business is successful. You gotta look at a community, or is it a private business is gonna, you know, and like I said, and I would like Mayor Linky to say that he's going to wait.
Hey, I'm only one of 5. I go along with the group. I know where I'm leaning. There's answers to be given as to the volleyball thing. If it works out great, hey, I'm all for it. And if it takes longer than 2 months, I'm thinking, so be it. But we have the opportunity. Let's not sit on our hands, and let's keep moving.
Well, it's okay to keep moving, but depending upon quick decisions, sometimes are not good decisions.
They have started, there's 2 new hotels up on 65 by the sports center. I don't know if anybody knows that.
Yeah, my
It's
God.
not going to happen overnight. Everybody has to understand that it's not going to happen overnight.
It certainly hasn't so far, at least. This has been a long time coming. I think some of the things, everything that gets brought up is has not been not considered, I should say. Everything has got a risk. We try to evaluate what the level of risk is taken. I think that there's still a lot of questions on every one of these options, the cost versus benefit. That's really what it all boils down to. And I think the statement that was made about the community getting to know more of this stuff, this may be the first attempt at doing that. I'm sure that this will play on TV for quite a while, and we'll try to get in touch with the newspapers. But it will probably also change as time goes on, and preferences start coming to the fore and feedback comes in.
One thing I want to say is that I wanted to say before it's public input, whether a person agrees with what they do or not is immaterial. It's the fact that we've been left out. We were left out of the bridge, we were left out of the Bell Ray. For God's sakes, give the people a chance to voice their opinions, which you people have not done. No, don't say that you have, because Sue knows I've still got the letter at home. Public trust, which we don't have. And that's what he's talking about. The rush into things. Let the people help. That's what you're elected for. You're our voices. I'll grant you that. But the last time that 3 people, decide what they want done, that's a dictatorship when the people are left out.
Is there anybody else?
Well, I just wanted to respond. When the council first saw all these plans in June, I think we all just said, this is too much. I mean, that's how we all felt. And none of us came out of the room and said, we know what we want to do. We said, this is overwhelming. And financially, everybody's very concerned about the bottom line. And that's why our staff's been pursuing the discussions with the volleyball group, because the bottom line is very much affected by whether they're a player or not. And then we also are concerned about bonding. If we can use the excess tax increment funds and not have to do bonding, that reduces our costs.
There's still a lot to decide.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that I can't look at the 5 of them and know what it exactly is.
I just want to correct one thing. Using tax